EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground. Hall calling no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now. You look at this Niner defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
Still going inside the 20, and he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
They'll run with Hall. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now it's Jackson throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr., his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at about the 32. They begin on the ground with Guerendo. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Again, it's Guerendo. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Here's Guerrero on first down. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. A quick throw completed by Purdy. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. You look at this Baltimore defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And this is what we talk, game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And they'll start the drive here with an end around. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Well, this defense for the Niners very strong in that victory a week ago.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
Give to Hall running right. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Ravens at 8-7, a game over 500 on the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Flowers. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 22-yard line. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Jackson now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Purdy. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Another try for Guerrero.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, 49ers.
Isaac Guerrero
with career touchdown number 157, moving him past Terrell Owens and into a tie with Randy Moss for fourth on the all-time list.
And the Niners are back within a score.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Jackson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Hall on a give up the middle. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Oh, design run for their wideout. The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Marvin Harrison Jr.,
his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
So this, not a stat line that you'd expect to see. 2 touchdowns for him now in the ball game, both coming on the ground.
And while it may be unusual, it's obvious they found something that they like on offense and they can use against the defense, and I think they'll continue to go to it until they stop him.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Purdy now to throw.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Well, same target, same result. It's Kittle.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 1. Purdy going to give it to Gurindo.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
They'll try the middle with Gurindo.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. On 4th down, Kyle Shanahan will send out the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
And that flag accepted.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10.
Here's Purdy.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
Handoff running right, Gurindo.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Isaac Gurindo
with career touchdown number 158. That pushes him past Randy Moss and into 4th place all time.
And the Niners have cut it back within a score.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Jackson to throw.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room.
Purdy looking to throw.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
A give running left now, Gurindo.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
104 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. He's got his target. That's complete.
Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year.
And the 49ers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Point after here coming up. It's up and good to make it 21-17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
2nd down and 3. Out of the gun, Purdy.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Purdy. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Isaac Guerendo on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now a hit and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. Final play of the half. Purdy over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. A final shot before break. Purdy, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Purdy gets this one to Juszczyk. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Handoff here, Guerrero.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Purdy tosses out wide, complete.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 10.
In motion goes the tight end. Jackson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
On 3rd down, here's Hall.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
4th down, here's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Throwing to start the drive. Purdy. Looking middle, and that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Purdy. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
after the incompletion. Here now, 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, it's Guerrero. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. On the give, it's Guerrero. And he's going to take this one down to the 25.
Well, if you like the guys who run the ball, you're enjoying watching this. But the other guys, especially the defense coordinator, trying to figure out an answer on how to slow down the running game, I think maybe starts to call more blitzes, because you can call run blitzes in order to try and get more people to the point of attack.
On the ground, here's Guerrero. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A 3-yard loss, 4th down now.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And, oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Purdy from the gun. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Purdy will look to throw again here. And this pass broken up.
Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They get this out quickly to the left side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Well, looking deep here for Flowers.
And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick.
And the 49ers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now 2nd and 9. Shotgun now with Purdy.
Wide open receiver, complete.
Inside the 10.
Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. 85 yards.
And the Niners start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away. And here we go.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter.
And now here is another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
His throw caught right around the 6. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Isaac Guerrero
with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year.
And the Niners continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Niners are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. That's complete out left to Ayuk.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Completes it to Jennings.
Down the right sideline.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Juwan Jennings.
38 yards.
And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
This is the tight end, Njoku.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Jackson from the shotgun. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Dexter Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last.
And now here's another interception.
Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the 49ers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Even though they were able to force the punt defense.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Reek Woolen.
And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilate. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And they'll go on the ground. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Straight ahead is Hall.
Shreds the tackle, and he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here's Jackson. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. And this has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They call his number again. It's his sixth catch and a first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
2nd and 10. Purdy. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
Here's Guerrero.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga.
And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat.
Back to throw, Purdy. Ayuk bringing it in on the crossing route here.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Purdy now to throw.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Purdy looking to throw.
Buying time to his left. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for San Francisco,
they moved to a sparkling 15-1 with one game still to go in the regular season.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From